Hey guys, welcome back to another installment with the Ugly Investor. Today I have a progress update on the renovation project that we have going on at the moment. So let me take you through and I can show you where we're up to at the moment. All right, welcome to the progress update. Here we can see that the kitchen has now been fully installed. We've got all of the bench tops, all of the cabinets. We've even started to put things like the dishwasher, the microwave oven, and we've got all of the cabinetry ready to go, inclusive of the range hood. The electrics are working in the place as well, which is fantastic. So if you remember in the original video having a look at this project, there was a big long wall that kind of came out here and stretched across. You can see the marks left in the ceiling where that structural beam was. That was taken down, re-engineered, and now it's got new lights that are being installed through here to add a little bit of ambience to the room. These wet areas have had a lot of work done to them. This room now, off to the left, has turned into a laundry, fully functioning laundry. So we'll have the washing machine and a dryer here with your taps, any kind of like hanging space, stuff like that, cabinetry. It's starting to look really good. So last time we were here, we were looking at the waterproofing that was going through on the underside of the tiles. So you could see at the stages of where the waterproofing was at. This is now the bathroom. Originally what it was is as you entered this space, there was actually a little hallway. As you entered this space, there was actually a hallway here, and then there was a door across the ground here that went into a toilet here. And then there was a door that was here that opened up to a bathroom. Now this whole area the wall got ripped down. It now is a partition wall. They've extended the bathroom out, and so you can see that it runs horizontally along the floor space here. They waterproofed and tiled the flooring. The toilet is going to go into the same spot it was originally, but now the bathroom looks a lot larger. So you got a his and her sink with a 900 by 900 shower. We went through the waterproofing on the last one, but you can see there's a lot of progress, and this looks a lot better because there's less kind of turns, corners, etc. It's more of a even plan as we come along. So we've added new flooring across the whole house here too, it looks like. And then when we come into the bedrooms, a lot of work has been done. So all of the walls have been patched up, painted, and fixed. You may remember that there was an air conditioning unit that was in here, so there was a hole that was physically in the wall. So that's now been patched from the outside. It's been covered over with plasterboard on the inside, and that's now closed up. It looks a lot more professional than what it was previously. The same was happening in these two bedrooms here. A new cupboard has been installed as well. So we've got new cupboard space, all of the wardrobes, the hanging space, etc. That's all brand new, which is great. They've also started to install some of the extra pieces such as curtains and blind pieces for all of the rooms here as well. So overall, the place is looking quite good, quite smick, and quite bright. One of the things they have done is they've added down lights everywhere. You probably can't see because I haven't angled the camera up, but we've got down lights here, we've got down light here, all throughout the house, a whole series of little down lights, LED lights in the actual roofing system itself, as you can see. And so what that does is it is increase the brightness of each room when it goes, nighttime. It adds a little bit more oomph when you come for sales time, because all the sales agents, they tell you to turn the lights on when you come into a room, and you can see that it really brightens the place up a bit. As part of the renovation, they've added a false wall here. The last time we were wondering exactly what it was that was happening here. It's really to hold hold and hide some of the electrical cables that are sitting behind the wall area. It also adds a bit of a feature. It's almost like an inherently built-in bed head for your bed. The area that we're in now is actually a master room, and you would have noticed that in all of the original videos, this walk-in wardrobe space was just an empty space. They've finished patching and painting all of the plasterboard areas here, but they've also added a full wardrobe cupboard space with angled shoe holders, so that you can put some of your shoes and stuff here. So it's not a particularly large wardrobe, but it will get the job done. And here, you remember from the previous videos, there was waterproofing that was being shown on the grounds and whatnot. So they've now finished all the tiling, the grouting as well. So the grout itself is not waterproof. It actually absorbs a lot of water. And so that's why it's critically important to have waterproofing underneath. So as water hits the tiles, it gets absorbed into the grout and goes through underneath. The waterproofing stops the water from penetrating into more critical elements of the building, such as like the timber frame and whatnot, and creating rot there. And instead it directs the water straight into the drain areas and is excavated out of the wet area spaces like your bathrooms. So yeah. Now let's take a look at the end of the house. Originally, this was one large room extended all the way across from here, all the way across to over there. You would have seen in the previous renovation videos that they added a non-structural wall here, and they added a little curve in there. This is now a sitting area, like a sitting living area kind of space. Gives you a bit of access to some of the light available from the balcony. And if I was completing this renovation myself, I'd probably look to add maybe a few bookshelves on the back corner here. And in the staging process, you obviously put a few books on there and maybe a chair and like a little sitting table to take a look at. But the last time we were here, these walls weren't painted. They were in fact only installed. So we walked through how you would patch these walls and how you compound fill those to get a nice smooth finish all the way across the wall there. What they decided to do by adding this, let's call it like a partition wall or a non-structural wall here, is they wanted to create a second master room in the house, create a little bit of extra value within the selling market itself. So here with that S-bend in the wall, they've used that space to add a cupboard or wardrobe space here. So there's actually hanging space in some of these doors as well. There we go. As you can see, the hanging space as I open up that door. And this second room here, they have converted to a second master room. So you could use this for, say, guests that were coming over, kind of their own separate area of the house. They've got their own bathroom. They don't disturb the main family member or units of the place itself. So yeah. Then what we discussed is how to properly install your recesses. If you remember with the last video when we had a look at the recesses, best practice, and they have done that here, you can see it, is that there is an angle from the back part of this wall to the front part here. Now, no water is going to get onto this particular recess. This is more a decoration. Water will get into this recess though as it sits within the shower space. So an angle, which this one does have, will direct any water to the front and hopefully down. So what they've done here is anywhere where water could potentially get in, you'll notice that you've got silicone sealed here around those critical junction points, rather than the tile grout, which absorbs water. You do not want water, and this is a high risk area for water or bathrooms, specifically wet areas, it's a high risk area because there's timber frame directly on either side here. So you've got your studs that run straight down here, and you got your stud running typically straight down here as well. And then there would be a nogging that would effectively frame out this space here. Now, if water gets stuck through these gaps, which is a high risk area, then it can cause some issues to the framing underneath, causing timber rot, and may even attract things like termites towards the house, which is something that you want to avoid. So while recesses look fantastic, you do have to be extraordinarily careful with the impact if it's done incorrectly to the subframe of the house. So bear that in mind if you're doing something with recesses in bathrooms. I think they look fantastic. I'm a big advocate for recesses in dry areas of the house, but for wet areas of the house, they have a practical and they serve a practical purpose, but you need to make sure it's done correctly. So those are a few tips to help you along with those. Remember, when you're looking to sell a place, you need to have some sort of selling feature. And the feature that this place has is its view and access to wildlife and a national park. It literally sits on the boundary line of a national park. So you have these fantastic, beautiful views that nobody can obstruct, nobody can build in front of you. And so you're creating that additional value. Must remember that when you're selling a place, you want to have a selling feature. So in this particular house here, as we've discussed before, it has the selling feature of the view. It sits on the edge of the national park. Nobody can take that view away from you. So now it's about creating a differentiation from any of the other houses that sit on this street. That's why they've done a little bit of work rejigging the internal layout to give you the best possible option for a competitive advantage in the selling market. Now, one of the things they've actually decided to do is this was an open space garage. So they've added a garage, electronic garage door to close that off. And what you will notice is they have started painting, right? So originally it was a brick wall, and there's still brick underneath this, but they've just installed some plasterboard over the top of it, and it looks a lot smoother, a lot cleaner. It's just an extra thing to go above and beyond. So when you walk into the place for the first time, the first impression of the areas that you see is something that you remember. It's a differentiation point. Thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. I hope that the journey of the renovation process has been enlightening along the steps of the way. We'll keep you updated as we keep going. We're still going to add a few things like the toilets, which have been purchased and are on their way, and clean up a few of the other things. Once that's all done, the last steps of this process will be cleaning out all of the work is rubbish and then staging it ready for a sale. Thanks guys, and we'll see you on the next one.